Mike Huckabee and Donald Trump assert a few other crazy things about Christmas time, how Christmases have gone under the Trump administration, and who this is really about. So let's jump into this next video.
You really did, and I think a lot of people appreciated that it was a part of the American culture. It was a part of who we are. It wasn't to exclude anybody. It was just simply a celebration of what America does at Christmas.
And America and the world, but America loves Christmas.
Yeah.
And whether you're Muslim, whether you're Christian, whether you're Jewish, everyone loves Christmas. And they'd say Merry Christmas until these crazy people came along and they wanted to stop it along with everything else.
Yeah, that's okay. This is, I guess they're trying to like give a little bit of backup to Ainsley Earhardt for her thing about the Christmas tree. Yes, there are likely, I would assume, people of all religions who do some Christmassy stuff. You know why? Because a lot of that stuff had nothing to do with Christianity in the first place. And whatever it did have to do with Christianity has been gradually stripped away by the other thing you worship, which is capitalism, which is fine. It won. And so I eagerly celebrate Christmas having nothing to do with Jesus whatsoever. And that version of Christmas might have some people who are Muslim or Jewish who are worshiping it, but you don't like that. You still want it to be the thing that it definitely isn't for you. They're pretending they want it to be religious. He definitely isn't thinking about Jesus on Christmas. But Brett, you're ostensibly Jewish. What do you think about the claim that this is equally important for every religion?
After long discussions at the Erlich household, we have landed on me saying either I'm Jewish or I'm Ashkenazi, because I don't really like, while I did have a bris, which is arguably the toughest thing to go through, I was not bar mitzvahed, and I have gone to like 2 services, but many Seders because they're the best.
Yeah, that's true. They are fun.
And culturally grew up going to my grandmother's house and lighting candles and finding matzah. Okay, so that said, it is insane for me it is crazy for people to say that like this is inclusive of Hanukkah. Hanukkah is inclusive of it by saying Merry Christmas in any way, shape, or form. I think it's fascinating. I love Christmas in America. It is the full embodiment of Christmas, because Christmas was like, hey, have 3 kings give you 3 gifts on your birthday because you literally are Jesus. It developed into like, there was like Saint Nicholas who did nice things, and it incorporated like pagan tree traditions. It looped that in, and then it got to America, and America was like, well, we like that stuff, and what else is us? Buying stuff and selling stuff. And so it is, American Christmas is different, and it's also from a colonialist society. So it also, after bringing Christmas in and adapting it with like mercantile America, is now exporting it to all those places through its other like imperialist tool, which is marketing good and media and music and culture. And so we're cultural imperialists who try to use that as a way to get capitalism to be the thing you do when we, either help you win a war or beat you in one and build up your society again. It is fascinating, and I'm sorry that I'm on this like long diatribe, but the takeaway is I'm literally 50% Ashkenazi and culturally Hebrewoid.
Yes, and that isn't good enough for them. Not your background. I'm saying the fact that Christmas has largely won culturally. They now want to pretend that it's almost like invoking the deep state. It's like, oh sure, okay, we're in control of the government, but like there's some other thing that's against us. Okay, that's fine. One other crazy statement. This is my favorite kind of Trump crazy statement, in that it doesn't actually harm us. It's just he takes something that he knows not to be true and tries to come up with the most ridiculous way to assert the exact opposite of it. Take a look at this.
How does the Trump family celebrate Christmas?
Well, different ways for different years. I mean, we had New York. Now we're in Florida. Florida's been a state that's treated me so well, and I still love New York. New York is incredible. Then I had the White House years, and having Christmas at the White House and being even the environment. And Melania always did a fantastic job of fixing up the trees, and she did magnificent displays. And generally speaking, even from the super liberal press, got great reviews, which is shocking, okay, because they didn't like giving us good reviews. And then we now spend it in Florida, and Christmas in Florida is very beautiful.
Okay, so really, look, obviously he knows that that's not true. They didn't love, like the only thing you can think of when you think of Melania and Christmas is the fact that she did this really weird thing with the red trees. And he is admitting that he knows that people didn't like it in coming up with the exact opposite thing to say. So that's just, it's a bizarre thing. Who made those trees? But then, like sometimes it was fine. Like if you go to this year, like let's take a look at this other year. That's mostly fine, although he's leaning forward like a weird person. And why are there so many trees in the same room? Why can't you have one nice tree? I don't understand it, but
I just love that like the presents under the tree are ornaments. Like what happened? You guys should have harvested those before they fell to the ground. Now they're gonna go rotten.
They're gonna just rot. Yeah, and he was asked, how do you worship Christmas? And he just listed all the places he's lived. That's not how you worship. Are you with your family? Because it doesn't seem like they're really involved in this. You're just like, well, there was New York and then DC and then Florida's beautiful. Wait, but what do you do? Is your family there?
It's just he revealed. It's like when you ask someone, there's listen, I've watched and just like that for a long time. I believe women, or Sex in the City. There's an episode of Sex in the City where Clark Gregg is pretending to be a doctor, and he seems like a doctor until Miranda like cuts her hand, and he's like, oh, I hate blood, and then it comes out that he's pretending. That's what just happened there. Is like Trump's like, I love Christmas, and then they're like, can you give us a concrete example of your enjoyment of loving Christmas? And he's like, I hate blood. I don't know. There's gifts and it's a bag of sand. Like that's basically it.
100%, yeah.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.